Well, it's morning and it's not particularly sunny, but that's because there's clouds in the sky. There's not nearly as much wildfire smoke, a little bit, but not really. I'm going this way first. Not really a ton. So, I mean, here comes the sun a little bit. So it's actually a fairly decent day. The only thing is I wish it would rain more, because the rain we got, it's already dried up, which is not ideal. It would be better if we had more rain, but we'll take what we can get. It rained a little yesterday. It's not horrific. Okay, close this door. So these guys are staying, except for the 2 naked necks. Okay, there are 2 naked necks in here that I'm selling because they're not naked necks, they're silkies, they're showgirls. And my thing with the silkies is I don't keep more than 1 showgirl of each color pattern, and I've already got 3 showgirls, and there's a blue one and a white one in the other pen. So I already have those colors. These guys, about 2/3 of them are staying. I know there looks like there's fewer in there than there were yesterday. There are. It's because someone came to pick up a bunch last night. So about 2/3 of what's left are staying. And the rest are for sale, which is adorable. I love when people get their new chicks, because chicks are so cute and fuzzy and sweet. It's always awesome. Because they're chicks. And they're cute. We love chicks. So they're up for sale. I've got 2 rabbit lops for sale. I know there were 3. I know. You're only going to see 2 when I'm listing them and when I'm taking their pictures and when I'm filming them later today. And the reason you're only going to see 2 is because the 3rd one was already spoken for before she went to her new home. Like before, when she was born. Hi, buddy. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. I know you're the best pony, man. I know you're the best pony. I know you're such a good horse. He is. He's a good horse. Have to fill his hay bag, which I'm going to do. It's hard to do on camera. Let's be honest. It's actually really hard to do on camera. Open that more. It's difficult to do on camera because you can't really reach. Okay. Here's our 3 young ducks. They're leaving. They haven't gotten used to me yet, but they have figured out that they can go in and out to their heart's content. And there's Turkey that followed me. Excuse me, everybody. I would like to get out now. I'm just going to use this. See if there are eggs up there. Is that an egg in the back corner? No. Hey, it works. Sometimes you use that to see if there's eggs up there. So, whatever works, right? Hello, my pony. I love you so much. I know. And little baby Orwin. Yeah. And big boy Shadowfax. Yeah. They're such good guys. So, what am I doing today? I don't remember what I'm doing today. Hanging out with Tequila's puppies. I have eggs to lock down tonight. How about actually latch it? I have eggs to lock down tonight. So I'm going to do that. I hear quite a lot of quacking. Not from the young ones. Oh, that's from them over there. Okay. I was like, why is there so much quacking? It was echoing from these guys. That is okay. They're allowed to echo. I was like, what on earth is happening? Just echoing. So I have to make butter. I have to make bread. I have to hang out with Tequila's puppies, which is awesome. I love Tequila's puppies. I love them. There's something else I have to do. Tomorrow I have to lock down rabbits because they're due to have their babies on the weekend. Look. Stop being broody. Get out of here. Hi, guys. Okay. Sorry, there's a lot of activity happening right now. There's a lot of stuff happening. Lot of stuff happening. No egg in there. Okay. That is okay. Hello, gentle ladies. How are you? Hello, Deli. Hi, sweetie. So our plan with Deli, she's pregnant right now. The plan with her is she has really big litters. That's Stump. She has really big litters. So what we're going to do with her is Tinsley's also due to have babies, and Stump is due to have babies. What we're going to do is redistribute because everyone else seems to have. Everyone's good in here, by the way. Everybody else seems to have smaller litters, and Deli has like 10, 12, 14 at a time. That's a lot of litters. That's a lot of babies to have all at once. So, because of that, what I want to do is play redistribution system. Start a little redistribution system. And I'm going to take a couple of her babies and give them to Tinsley, and a couple of her babies and give them to Stump, just to kind of break up the litters a little bit, kind of distribute them better. Now, to be fair, Stump's never had a litter with us. We don't really know if she's going to have a big litter or a small litter. And so we'll have to wait and see. Tinsley is a Holland Lop, so they have smaller litters anyway. So I have no problem rounding Tinsley up to like 6. If she only has 2, take some from Deli. Just to give Deli a bit of a break. Hi, Bowser. Hi, Jake. Hi! Hi, Peaches! Learning to crawl on the hay. That's Peaches. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing, my little doll face? Are you my sweetie? Hi! Exploring a little bit. Being a good mama. There's Bowser. Hi, sweetheart. Hi. Oh, there's my Peaches. Oh, there's my Peaches. Oh man, I love Peaches. She's such a good kitten. Hi. Okay, let's go for a journey. Let's go. Oh, and there's Smokey. Hi, Smokey. That's Smokey. These ones are like Patches, bigger, and almost ready to go to their new homes. So hopefully, they continue doing well. They have to get a little steadier. So you can't rehome kittens super young because that's not healthy for them or for anyone, really. I mean, kittens should not be rehomed at a super young age. I know some people do it at like 4 or 5 weeks old. That would be incorrect. Okay? So, if you have kittens of your own and you are rehoming them, make sure that you are prepared to hang on to them for a good 7-8 weeks till they're steady on their feet. Hi, Wildfire. That's our darling. Yeah. Come on, sweetie. So it is really important that you hold on to your kittens. Okay? I know. So we do have stuff to get done today. I want to get some plants started. Oh, my beans and peas are doing pretty well. Especially the beans. They're really shooting up. That's a cat in the bush. All right. This stuff's doing not bad. And yes, I leave the weeds in there. I leave the weeds in and amongst. Just because I don't care. That soil's fertile enough that it can support everyone. Hi, Smokey! Hi, little one. Oh, there's another kitten. Yeah. Yeah. Look at those kittens with Bowser. Having some cat food. Hanging out. Doing their kitten stuff. Those are not Bowser's kittens and they're not Jake's kittens. They're actually Gwen's kittens. Hi, sweetie. So, whatever. That's just how many kittens there are. And they kind of had a little custody battle. And everyone got custody of some kittens, but they're not all their own. So, whatever. It doesn't matter. I do not care. Right? I just simply do not care. So, it doesn't particularly bother me. And there's Gwen. Just popped up. Yeah, where are your children? Are they under the deck too? Yeah? Yeah, they are. That's okay. Anyway, I got stuff to do. So, we're going to do sandwiches for dinner, which means I have to roast chicken and make bread and make butter and all that good stuff. I also have to make butter because I have to make cookies in the morning, so I'm out of butter. So that's on the list for things to do today. And of course, locking down eggs, I have to take some pictures of the adorable 2 little bunnies left so that people can see pictures of them. One of them's already gone. She was spoken for a long time ago. So she's gone. 2 more bunnies left, lops. So we will also bring them out and do some pictures and video of them. It'll be super cute because they love hanging out on the grass. So that's the plan today. So that's what we're going to go get started with. Except Patches came up. Let's go look at Patches. I love Patches. Have you noticed that I just love baby critters and big critters? I love all the critters. Hi, Patches! Hi, Patches! He's having some food with his mama. His actual mama. That is his actual mama. So, that's the plan today. Get bunnies prepped. Nice pictures. Nicely groomed. Very pretty on the grass. That's the plan. So, time to get all of that started. Well, little Wildfire runs around like a mad thing. And I think I'm gonna clean that chicken coop. The one where the broody ladies are. Give it a nice little clean and polish. Just because, you know, you don't want them sitting in muck. That's not fun for anyone. So that's my plan. Let's go get started. All right, we got a couple of bunnies hanging out, being cute, walking around on the grass, looking good, feeling good, and yes, I have backup to stop bunnies from taking off. If you're wondering why they walk like that, bunnies walk. They don't always hop. Okay, sometimes they walk. Not all the time, but sometimes. But they're just having a good time, eating weeds, having fun. It's good for them to get outside sometimes. Because otherwise, all they do is play like weirdos. Okay, so right now they're just having fun, chilling, wandering around. I got other things to do, though. I can't sit out here with them all day. And while we're doing that, we got little kittens coming out and hanging. We got these 2 hanging out here, Peaches, and this one doesn't have a name yet. And we have Smokey, and we have the other little, we have Des. That's Des. So we have them. They're starting to come out and about. Bowser's kittens are not coming out and about. And the reason Bowser's kittens aren't coming out and about is because they're still too little. So these guys are having the time of their life. And I am glad that Jake is finally bringing them out It's good for them. It's good for Jake. And the kittens are so sweet. Aww. Well, it's time to start working on dinner. There is bread dough doing its thing. I need a couple of pieces of chicken. This chicken's been defrosting. And if I could, pull the chicken out of the bag, that'd be excellent. Get rid of the bag. Don't need the bag. Bag's empty. The bag is empty. I do not require it. Okay. Now I'm going to take this sriracha seasoning, sprinkle that on there, and then I'm literally just going to throw this in and let it roast. Just let it roast for an hour. Slow roast. Open that up. Always season your chicken with something. So I'm using a sriracha, but that's because I love spice. Like, I'm crazy for spice. Not everybody likes spice as much as I do. And if people don't like spice as much as I do, then they should not use sriracha seasoning. And I'm using a fair bit. Get in there. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this in the oven on the racks. Well, in the toaster oven. The toaster oven has a roast part, and that's what I am going to do. So I'm going to throw this in to roast, and then we will make some butter. And by the time we're making the butter, hopefully the bread dough will be done, because that's all for dinner. So we will come back when at least some things are done. Hopefully I will have whipped up the butter and the dough will be ready. Then we'll come back, and this will hopefully also be done in about an hour. So then we can keep going. And in between all the other stuff, there are always puppies to hang out with, which is what we've been doing. I love to hang out with these puppies. Look how cute they are. How peaceful in sleep. So we have 2 there, 2 here. There's 2 side by side there. And then there's 2 more in the corner there. And they are all perfectly adorable. This is what I do now. In between anything else I have to do, I come hang out with these little guys. Because they're only going to be with us for a few weeks, and then they move on to their new homes, right? So I might as well spend every minute I can snuggling up to these little babies. Because this stage passes before you know it. And I am going to miss them very, very much. So I'll take advantage of what time I have with them before they move on and start careers as livestock guardian dogs. And they will be fantastic at that job. They really will. They're just perfect. And some of them bark. Yeah, they've learned how to bark. Some of them. Their eyes aren't even open. But they're little barkers, just like their mama. Alright, butter is done. It has its salt, it has all its good stuff. You need your salt. You can make unsalted. It's not that big a deal. You can 100% make unsalted. But I wanted salted. And I like to put a little pepper in it as well. So I also shove my butter into these molds. And then I freeze it. And then I take out half a cup at a time. Okay. And I run my fingers along the side of the mold to put it back into shape. There we go. I forgot a knife. The reason I use a knife is I just take the back of the knife, look, and that goes into the next one so that it's nice and smooth. There we go. Then we take the next bit. And then we will shape our buns, set them aside to rise, go outside, do our thing, clean an incubator as well, because I do have to clean an incubator. That's actually pretty important to clean the incubator. Okay. Squeeze that. It's hard when your fingers are slippery with butter, but it's doable. There we go. Squeeze that. Again, take the knife, scrape the top off, and yeah, do one more. So this normally gets me 3 and a little bit if I use 1 liter of butter, 1 liter of cream. And when you're doing it, you do need to use an actual cream. You can't use milk. Because in theory, yeah, you can separate the butter from the buttermilk in milk, but it only has like, even if you're using whole milk, like 3.5% milk fat. So there would be very little butter. I like using a 35% cream. I find that that is the most efficient. And you get quite a lot of buttermilk and you get quite a lot of butter. So what I'm after is the butter, and then the buttermilk is just really a byproduct. Okay, so I'm only doing these ones, and we'll grab the butter dish and just put the little bit of excess in the butter dish. Waste not, want not. Waste not, want not. Okay. There we go. That's done. Dry my hands. Put the lid on the butter. Get rid of the knife. Wipe off my lid. For some reason I had the lid upside down. Now I got butter on it. Doesn't matter. It's just going in the freezer. And then I will grab a cutting board real quick. Pop this in the freezer. Pop that in the freezer. Grab a cutting board. I got lots to do. It's quite a lot to do today. Okay, I think the chicken is done roasting, but I like to let it cool. This is our dough. This is our dough. Okay. You just work all the air out of this dough. This is quite an airy dough this time. Okay. Yeah. What I'm doing is getting a little bit of flaked salt here. I'm putting some flaked salt into it. I didn't want the salt to dissolve in the water. So I just used my standard buttermilk bread recipe, and now I'm putting flaked salt into it. So there's going to be some flaked salt chunks. Okay? And so what I'm doing is just checking to see if I've distributed the flaked salt well enough. Just with a few turns. Yep, I seem to have. That's good enough. And divide this into 4. There we go. I need my pan, which is here. My sub-bun molds, which is here. And then I have to go outside, clean an incubator, check for eggs. Though Tristan did come back with a whole lot of eggs, so probably there aren't going to be any. Because he came back with a shirt full. He didn't take a basket or anything, so he had them in his shirt. We've all done that. We've all done that. I usually try to remember my apron, but I have an egg apron. I try to remember it, but a lot of times I don't. So, anyway, we did have a little excitement a little while ago, which leads me to wanting to talk about predators a little bit. Because we had a stout. It's like a weasel, a little smaller. We had a stout try to go after our young ducks. It's okay, Vodka took care of it. But when it comes to predators, you have to be aware of what predators you have, and you have to be willing to combat those predators in the best way for you and your flock. Because too often we think, okay, well, so we have bears. We didn't get a bear today. It was a stout, little weasel guy. But we have bears here. And there's always a lot of talk in groups about how you need to use hardware cloth and you need to predator-proof your coop, and it's got to be built like Fort Knox. Well, a stout was not that big a deal. Vodka just, did his thing. But we have bears. And frankly, the whole, well, you can just put up hardware cloth and make your coop predator-proof and build it like Fort Knox is nonsense. A bear will get into your house if they really want to. They usually don't need to. But if they really wanted to, they could tear your door off its hinges. People who have no experience with bears don't realize how big they are. Now, they're not overly aggressive. Well, polar bears and grizzly bears can be. But if it's a black bear, they're normally fine. But imagine they're not for a minute. Imagine for a minute that they're upset. They're getting in your house. Let's pop these in here so they can realize. And I'm just going to turn warm on for a minute. So when you hear people talk about how their coop is Fort Knox and nobody could get into it, they haven't dealt with a bear yet. And we have bears, and we have wolves, and we have coyotes, and there's the occasional cougar. We have things like raccoons and skunks and weasels. Stouts are the actual species. And we have rats, and we have all the things. And at some point, something's going to get in your coop. If it hasn't happened to you yet, you're lucky. But at some point, something's going to get into your coop. It's going to happen. Depends on the predators in your area, of course, but there's no such thing as Fort Knox when it comes to predator proofing. So keep in mind that you should be checking your run every day, your wire, your wood, your metal, whatever you use. You should be checking it every day for signs that a predator tried to get in, because if they keep trying, they will eventually succeed. And in our case, we got dogs. It was the best solution for our situation, because where we live now, where we lived before was a little closer, like quite a bit closer to town and stuff. And there's more people there and less predators. Here, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's a reason now when I'm filming at this location. At our old location, you could see my neighbor's house. At this location, there's a reason you don't see any other houses. There's a reason. It's because there aren't any. We are pretty far away from even our closest neighbor. So we have way more predators now than we did before. And that meant we had to get the dogs. So when you're predator proofing, remember that there's no such thing as Fort Knox. If something wants in your coop bad enough, it's going to happen. So you're going to want to think of other ways, not just your standard predator proofing your coop. You're going to want to think other ways to deter them. Whatever that means for you. And if you haven't had a predator try to break into your coop, look around at your neighbors. They probably have easier marks than you do. That's another thing that happens, is there'll be one person going, well, I've never had a predator problem, and everyone around them has. It's because their animals are easier marks than yours. If yours were the easier marks, you would be the one with the problem. Anyway, that's just, thing that happened today, a little bit ago. Anyway, I am going to go outside, spray down that incubator, and check for eggs and nonsense, and give everyone a once over. And then we will come back in and hopefully bake those buns and shred that chicken. It'll be fun. Well, time to clean the incubator bottom, or the hatcher. It's technically the hatcher. Look out, Gwen. First, we just spray it down and we come back at the end. We just let it soak, because it's got goo. Always ends up with goo. All right, we're going to let that soak. Let's wander off. These cutie patooties. Hi, sweetie. Renee and Patches. Mao and Gwen. My sweet Gwen. Everyone having a fine old day. So, we're happy that Jake's finally bringing her kittens out. That was exciting. I just happened to catch that at the tail end of hanging out with the rabbits on the lawn there. What are you doing? What are you? Hello, ducks. Ducks. Ducks hanging out with the turkey. Is the turkey protecting you? We got chickens. Duck. We got birds everywhere. It's okay. We're going to have more birds everywhere. It's not going to be long. It is not going to be long before we have more birds literally everywhere. So, it'll be fun. I'm just looking around. Sometimes you find like random eggs all over the place. So I'm just kind of keeping my eyes open. Yeah, I didn't expect any eggs because I think Tristan brought them in. Yeah. I did not expect any. Yeah. That's okay. Because Tristan brought them in. I thought I would check anyway. Because the thing we don't want to do is not check and then end up with a bird sitting on them when we don't want them to. And he got the pile. There was a pile of eggs over there. He got it. So we're good. Pony has his hay. Very, very happy. Goat doing nothing. She's also very, very happy. Ow. I accidentally walked into her. That's fantastic. So yeah, there's a stout over here. But it's okay because Vodka handled it. He got him. So he was over here when Vodka saw him, and he was over there by the tree when Vodka stopped him. So, yeah. We don't have to worry about that. And do we have eggs under there? I think Tristan already got those ones. I'm not letting you out. Ah, there is an egg right here. No wonder he only brought in a couple. I like quail eggs. They're so little. And honestly, Rowan eats most of them. So we only hatch a handful each year. Come on, ladies. Can we just, not? And then just looking to see if there's an egg in that corner. I don't see one. Tomorrow, it'll be time to lock down these 2 bunnies. That's what we'll be doing tomorrow. So, that'll be good. Hi. Pretty sure she already got bread, because otherwise he wouldn't be so relaxed. And those 4, I keep getting asked, how do you have boys that get along and they're unneutered? And it's putting them together when they're young. And there's a reason Silverado separated. It's because he just can't. Not all rabbits can cohabitate with other, well, male rabbits specifically, can cohabitate with other unfixed males. Sometimes they just can't. And that's okay. Rabbits are individuals. But for the most part, we can just separate our boys and girls and put them together when we want specific pairings. So, could we also do it where the boys just run with the girls and you have random litters at random times? Sure. We could do that. I wouldn't know which one was Papa, but we could do that. Some people do, especially if they're raising specifically meat rabbits. A lot of people raise true colony style, where you just put them all in a pen, and when they have babies, they have babies. And that's the end of it. So, there you go. I have to get some stuff planted tomorrow. I really do. But it's still only the beginning of June. Guys, need some water. My beans and peas need some water. I brought water randomly, you might have noticed. I'm kind of random about it, but whatever. It's fine. These guys coming up yet? No. Oh, wait. Yep. Couple are sprouting. Very nice. And my squash is definitely sprouting. More squash is sprouting. Yay. I like squash. I do. I enjoy squash. I enjoy squash. I really need to get my cucumbers moved. They're inside still, and they need to not be inside. They need to be outside. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Depends on the weather. Is it hot? Is it cold? It'll depend, right? You really have to kind of go with what is. I like to get my tomatoes outside too. I have some tomatoes growing, but I like to have like 3 different crops, so I start them at separate times. So put the tomatoes up here with the other ones. No blooms yet on the other tomato plants, but it'll happen. It'll happen. It's just been too cold. Like until this week, it was just too cold. So we're not having those frigid overnight temps anymore. So that's good. We don't want the frigid overnight temps anymore. Okay. Let's go rip the mat off and get the sprayer. We really soak it, and then I take it inside. And after I take it inside, I give it a good scrub, and then it's ready. This hatching mat goes in the laundry. Seriously, that hatching mat goes in the laundry, and it gets reused next week. I have 2, so I just basically leapfrog them. There we go. Looking good. Okay. Just going to take that in the house with me. And then we will pretty much be done with that. And then we just have to worry about the bread, lock down those eggs. Still have stuff to do, even though I know it's looking late. Kind of is a little bit late, but it's fine. It is fine. It's just a little bit late. So, it's just taking a while to get... Hi! Hello, babies! Hi! That's my Peaches and that's Smokey. Hi, guys! Having a good time playing, are we? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, you are? Having fun? Yes, Bowser. She's not their mom. Gwen is their mom. And the two over there with Jake are Jake's. Bowser's are not quite big enough to come out yet. Right? They're going to need a little more time. Guys gonna go play? They're so cute. They are cute as little buttons, I tell ya. This is my favorite phase of kittenhood. You know, that look how excited we are, look how bouncy we are. That I like that. Vodka's in the house. Vodka's in the house because Tequila is feeding her puppies. And for some reason, when Tequila's going to feed her puppies, Vodka wants to be in the house too. It's a little odd. There's Lonesome. Why is Lonesome always by himself? Beats me. But, hi. But Lonesome is a good boy. So, whatever. We don't worry about it. So, yeah. But Vodka likes to go in the house when Tequila is feeding the puppies. Obviously, he wants to come back out. So, I'm going to let him out. I'm going to take my incubator parts in the house. I'm going to check on those buns rising. Maybe shred that chicken if it's cooled down a little bit. And, why are there chickens yelling at each other? Whatever. So, thank you, Lonesome. And then have some dinner and get these eggs locked down. That's the plan. So, because people are hungry. I know the kids are hungry. Anyway, we're going to go inside and do some of that and put this egg in my pocket away before I break it. I broke a couple the other day because I didn't remember that they were in my pocket. And so I laid down on the couch to do some writing. And yeah, broke them. Anyway, I am back to the house so that I can finish dinner. At least that's the plan right now. All right. Buns are cooked. Still very hot. So I need to shred my chicken, which means I need my mixer. I need to insert. You need a fairly sturdy piece, so I'm just using the dough hook. And I got to go get my chicken. It's in the toaster oven. Our toaster oven's pretty fancy, so my chicken is done. And you want to let the chicken cool down a little bit. Like, it's not totally cool, but it's got to be pretty cool. And literally, it's just the whole chicken breasts. 2 whole chicken breasts. Then we're going to pop this in here. Drop this. Push it right into the chicken breast. Turn it on your lowest speed. If you go too fast, first you're going to shoot chicken everywhere. But also, you're going to end up like pulverizing your chicken instead of shredding it. Next up, what am I going to want? I'm not going to put too many different things on here. I'm going to get some cheese. I'm going to get some lettuce. I'm going to get my hot aioli. I have an aioli that's really good. And it's a jalapeno aioli. And I love it. I love it very much. Ow. Okay. Open this cheese. I love cheese. Can't have... Hi. Tequila showed up. She heard the word cheese. She likes cheese a lot. So, just the way Tequila is. I don't blame her. I love cheese. This cheese slicer is not as sharp as my other one. 3. You know what? What did you have for dinner already? You already had, like, pasta. You did. You did. You had stuff. Tequila likes to pretend like she doesn't have anything to eat ever. But she does. She eats all the time. She eats food constantly. It's, it's a Tequila thing. She loves food. She eats food. It's just the way it is. Give me that bag. She loves food. Okay. Put the cheese away. I need a knife to cut my bun, don't I? Are we bored yet? I'm pretty bored right now, but I need to eat food. Also, someone's always asks me, where are the boys when they're not in here? Well, they're actually in their rooms playing D&D with their friends. Dungeons and Dragons, for those of you that don't know. They love playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they're playing online, which is something, I've played Dungeons and Dragons many times. And when I was their age, you could not play Dungeons and Dragons online. First of all, when I was their age, we didn't have the internet. Excuse me, Tequila. Move. But, second of all, when I was their age, it took a lot more planning, to get together. Because you couldn't just show up at the computer. You all, especially Rowan is still in high school and most of them don't have their driver's license yet. Because we have a graduated system here. So even if you went for your license right at 16, it's a while before you can actually get your license. So it takes a while, which is fine. But it basically just means, by the way, that's what your chicken looks like. That's literally what your chicken looks like. It's all shredded. It's fantastic. But when I was a kid, it took a lot of planning because you had to get together in person. So, with these guys, they can just go to their computers. Because, one, we have internet. Two, so does everybody else. So, it's different now. Yes, this is the butter we literally just made. I was out. I've been asked a few times how long homemade butter is good for. And that depends how you store it and what the temperatures are. So if it's really, really hot, like it's been over the last few days before it cooled right down again, if it's really hot out, you're only looking at a couple of days. And that is not just homemade butter. That's often store-bought butter. If you leave it out on the counter in heat as high as we had over the weekend. Come on. I need to get more of this. This comes from Costco. Have I made my own aiolis? Yes. This one's better. Could I make one that good? Maybe. But I happen to really like that aioli. So, yeah, the boys are playing D&D with their friends, which is fantastic. They'll love that a lot. I mean, I like playing D&D. It's not just a thing they like doing. And yeah, does that make me a bit of a nerd? Maybe. But frankly, I don't care. Because that kind of stuff is fun. Though these days, mostly I just spend it with the animals. Because I can. So I need a container. Where is a container? It doesn't matter. I don't need a container. I have a bag. I have a silicone bag. That's good enough. I think someone used all my containers. And put the rest of the chicken in there. I can have another sandwich later. Just if I don't put the chicken away, there's little Missy, my little Missy, who's going to eat it. Tequila is not trustworthy when it comes to snacks. Could you move so I can open this door? Tequila, come on. She's not trustworthy when it comes to snacks. You can trust her with your kids and your baby bunnies and your kittens, and you trust her with your people. If the people need protecting, you cannot and should not trust her with snacks. Okay? She loves snacks. She loves snacks. So, don't trust her with snacks. Okay. Now we're going to fold that up. Usually I would put cucumber, but I ate the cucumber. I was feeling snackish at lunch, so I literally just put salt on the cucumber and ate it. So I don't have a cucumber for my sandwich. And just like that, I have a sriracha chicken sandwich, nice and spicy. I'm going to go eat that, then we will come back and we will put those eggs into lockdown so we can have new babies come weekend. That'll be fantastic. All right, time to candle these eggs and get them into lockdown. So we have a little bag just in case, because you never know, right? Some of the eggs might have not made it to lockdown. So we are going to turn the light off because we need darkness to pull this off, and turn the candler on. Let me just, hang on, my cord is too far away. My cord is too far away. There we go. I got it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. Candler's on. And we are going to start grabbing eggs and looking to see. So at this stage, it should be mostly filled with a chick. And there's some movement. That's what you're looking for, is movement. So you can see some veins and some movement. Let's do these quail eggs. He developed nicely. Good job. Good job. We're happy about that. I usually don't have too much of a problem with quail eggs developing. Our little gentlemen are pretty good at their job. So what we're doing is we're just making sure we don't put an egg in here that has like a yellow cast, a yellow hue. So the air sac has a yellow hue, but below that should be a pink or a red hue. And there should be some movement. Hang on. Oh yeah, okay. And if you're hearing puppies, yes, they're behind me. Okay, so we're just making sure that we don't put anything that died in here, because you don't want that smell, trust me. So far, we're doing pretty well. This was a pretty good batch, though. Quite a lot of development. That's good. Okay. This one's harder for me to see. Hang on. This one possibly. Yeah, this one didn't make it. So you can kind of see there's no veining and there isn't a bunch of movement. Okay? There's no flickering. The veins have basically collapsed. That guy didn't make it, which is always unfortunate, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see if somebody just didn't make it. But the rest of these so far are looking fine. Lots of veining. No internal pipping yet. That's a good thing. We don't want internal pipping until they're in lockdown. See, you want to see active veins and movement. That's what we're after here. So he's moving. Sometimes it's just a little flicker. Sometimes it's quite aggressive movement. He's moving. So you have to really look sometimes. And I had someone ask, why do we leave them on their side for hatching? They're more likely to hatch if they're on their side. It's easier. Easier on them. Allows the chick to position themselves. Ooh, that could have been bad. Well, your puppies want you. Tequila's ignoring them because she just fed them. Yeah, I like to candle like on the bed where I can risk dropping them, because sometimes what happens is if I drop them and I'm over the floor, because I could do this not over the bed. Okay, except for that one, we're good. Ooh, you gotta watch it. There's puppies on the floor. You have got to watch your step. So I'm gonna get rid of this egg. That incubator will get more stuff put in it on Friday. And this one, this hatcher, we are going to bundle it up. There we go. Bundle that up. Get rid of that egg. And pop the lid on. Where is my lid? Over here. Pop the lid on. Plug it in. Make sure everyone's looking good. There we go. Go plug that in, and they will develop. So hopefully we get a good hatch rate. That's a fair number of eggs. So we will take one last look at the puppies. I'm just looking to see. Oh no, we're not missing a puppy. I thought we were missing a puppy. It's okay. So Tequila's here feeding one, because apparently he's hungry. And we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down in the corner, and then 8. They are doing their thing. They are 6 days old. They will be a week old in the morning. That's very exciting. I'm very happy with them. They have gotten pretty dang chonky. Okay, they are growing really fast. So we have 5 boys and 3 girls. Some of them are already spoken for, even though they can't go to their new homes for a few weeks. But some of them are already spoken for, and that is adorable. People want these puppies pretty badly. So we're going to head off to bed. Give everyone a little snuggle and a kiss before we hit the hay, because I can't imagine not giving them a snuggle and a kiss before I go to bed. That is about it for us here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Look how cute that one is. Aww.